Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. I thought today we could do a what I eat in a day video. I haven't done one of these since July and I fell off the filming bandwagon. So I'm trying to get back in the saddle, as it were. Gosh, so many different analogies. Be blessed by that, I suppose. Anyway, so I thought we would do that today. It's nearly 11 o'clock here as I'm starting this vlog. I started my day with a cup of black coffee and I am now having my second cup of black coffee. I have been watching lots of information on fasting and things of that nature. I've been watching and listening to a lot of Dr. Boz's information. I have also been just sort of listening to my friend Amy. She's over at Carnivore's Angel. I love listening to her live replays whenever I'm cleaning. So it's a really great way for me to listen to her. I tend to put her on 1.5 speed for that, just so I can make it through one of her live videos on the replay while I'm doing those chores and things. And it's really great to have ideas reinforced through Amy's channel. She's a very good educator and she doesn't like to make a lot of assumptions about others. So I really appreciate that about her. She's a really good friend. If you haven't checked out her channel, I'm sure most of y'all have, but if you haven't, I will be sure to link her channel somewhere in the iCards if that's the right direction for me to point. So anyway, all of that to say, I've been doing a lot of that listening and absorbing of information, and I really like the Dr. Boz ratios when it comes to numbers and trying to get a good grip on what my actual health is doing. I do have a glucose monitor and a separate ketone monitor in my little pouch here. I've gone through and replaced all of my ketone strips. So I've got loads of test strips for that. I use the Keto BM machine, and it's a decent quality, I guess. It's the only ketone monitor I've ever had, and the strips are about $1 a piece. So not exactly cheap, but I know that there are more expensive options out there. And for my purposes of just trying to get some baseline information, it's very useful. My blood glucose monitor is Rely On, I believe is the brand, and I get that at the Walmart. And test strips are fairly reasonable there for that if you compare them to the ketone strips. And yes, the Rely On, I got the little bitty fella, this little dude, and it works out nicely. So I've been taking a lot of my numbers lately. I know that Keto, or Loving It on Keto, Wendy and Harry, they have been doing this too. I started doing this back at the very tail end of July just because I was curious about my Dr. Boz ratios, and I was very shocked. I think that there's been a lot of leniency and lackadaisicalness in my way of eating recently, and I'd really like to dial some of those things in a little more specifically, I suppose. Anyway, I am planning to shorten my eating window from like my normal eat from the time I wake up until the time we go to bed. I'd like to shorten that up a bit. So that's why I've only had black coffee today so far. And I don't think I'm going to actually have anything to eat until, I don't know, it's almost 11 and I'm not really feeling terribly hungry. I will wait till I feel hungry, which hopefully won't be too much after 1 p.m. But I know Dr. Boz also mentions trying to eat as close to sunrise as possible and closing your eating window earlier in the day. However, with our family life, we homeschool our children, and trying to manage all the food consumption during the time whenever I'm actively teaching lessons is a little bit harder to do. And we like to eat dinner as a family. That's one of the things we do most nights. So I find that to be, I find that to be a more valuable way to build relationship than mom sitting at the table not eating, but everybody else is, dad not eating at breakfast, but everybody else is. You know, if we're all eating at kind of wonky times, that does seem to create a little bit of disunity within our family, and my husband likes to eat dinner, so I'm going to shorten my window toward the dinner side and make dinner time sort of the last, the back end, I guess, of my eating window. Okay, I have spoken for far too many minutes. I am going to come back to you when I have something to eat. Okay, to break my fast today, I am going to have 2 leftover egg yolk waffles. I made a big batch of these over the weekend, and I have 2 of them here. There is about a tablespoon and a half of butter on top between those 2. I have 1 serving of this hard salami right here. The macros on this are 10 grams of fat, less than 1 gram of carb per serving, and then 6 grams protein. A serving is 5 slices, which is what I have right there. And then I have 2 slices of the Sargento pepper jack cheese, always a favorite. That has, per 1 slice, there are 6 grams of fat, 0 carbs, and 5 grams of protein. So that's a total of 12 grams of fat and 10 protein grams. So what am I sitting at right there? Approximately 16 grams of protein, approximately 22 grams of fat, plus all the egg yolk waffles and butter. So we're sitting at really high fat, looking okay on my protein. But I also wanted to have some of my homemade yogurt. So I make this in my Instant Pot with the whole milk from Fairlife, and I don't add any of the extras to it. I know lots of people add in the heavy cream and all kinds of stuff. I like to keep it super simple for myself. It's just the red bottle of the Fairlife milk and a little bit of culture, and it does its thing. I did add a full scoop of the Perfect Keto unflavored MCT oil powder and half a scoop of the strawberry MCT oil powder to give it flavor and add more fat. So super high fat here. I'm going to have a bubbly with this, and I will probably have a high fat coffee when I'm finished with this. Okay, I have warmed up some coffee here, and can you see the oil slick that I've got going on there? Oh my word, I need to blend that up with my hand frother. Actually, let's scoot on over here. So over here I have a jar that I sort of decanted some of my refined coconut oil. It is non-GMO organic coconut oil, and it is refined to the point where it just doesn't have that coconut flavor, so I can tolerate that really well. The unrefined coconut oil that I have tried in the past, it just kind of creates a weird sensation in my throat, kind of like an itchy sensation almost. So I tend to avoid the coconut oil that is unrefined, but the refined stuff seems to be okay for me. So even though it's slightly more processed, I can actually tolerate that, and it doesn't give me any weird reactions. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I did a half scoop of the salted caramel Perfect Keto, and as you can see, that oil slick right there is pretty awesome. And let's give it a whisk with my rechargeable frother here. Okay, I'm gonna go wash that up. But that is going to be my afternoon coffee. I also wanted to mention it is 2:34 right now. I broke my fast around 2:15. Lunch was good, and I'm gonna go enjoy this cup of coffee and see what dinner brings. All right, it is early or mid-afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna make some electrolytes, and electrolyte roulette yields me a Relight in the mango flavor. So I personally prefer my electrolytes in more of a room temperature situation. I do 1 scoop of the Relight, and then I get 4 ounces of hot water into my cup. I got this cup on Amazon, and I love it. It has this removable rubber base to keep it from sliding. I really like the straw. It also has the regular sipping spout, and it is a 20-ounce cup. So there's that. And so I'm going to take this to my Keurig. I'm going to add 4 ounces of hot water to it. When this Keurig finally dies, I'm going to be so sad because I've looked at replacement models and none of them have the 4-ounce capacity or distribution on the hot water like this one. It'll be a sad moment. So that hot water will dissolve the salt a lot more easily than the cold water. And then reverse osmosis. and that'll be my mango electrolytes for the afternoon. Hey, if you're new here, I would love for you to check out my channel, see if there's content around here that interests you, and consider subscribing if there is. I do what I eat in a day videos like this one. I do recipe videos. Sometimes I prep food for my freezer and my fridge. Occasionally I will do a grocery haul, and sometimes I do go live and just sort of chat with y'all. So if that's something you're into, I would love to have you here on this channel. I really appreciate you who are back as second time and beyond viewers. I appreciate your time, and thank you. For dinner tonight, I have a bed of romaine lettuce, a serving of the Trim Healthy Mama cheeseburger pie in the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, and I have a fried egg on top. I topped that with my homemade mayonnaise, some of this sugar-free barbecue sauce, a few of these dill pickle chips, and oh, I also did a little bit of red onion slices on there as well. All right, I have been making Brianna Thomas's raspberry creams. They are in her which cookbook are they in? I can't quite remember. I have been doing it Convenient Food. Yes, Convenient Food cookbook. And so I've been taste testing the cream filling and the chocolate a little bit here and there. Not a whole lot, but just a tiny bit. So I have been eating that, and it is 7:30 right now. So I guess technically 7:30 will be the end of my eating window. And I plan on making a fatty coffee with some coconut oil and some MCT oil powder tonight. So I will put that here whenever I have that. All right, the kids are in bed. My husband and I are going to go watch TV in the basement, and I debated on whether or not I should have a fatty coffee, but I decided that I still feel pretty full from dinner, and I'm also really curious to see what my ketones do when I first wake up tomorrow morning, so this is kind of like a little experiment. We'll see how it goes. Oh my word, my hair, goodness. I had to help the baby take a shower, so anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I am gonna continue wrapping up, cleaning up this kitchen, and I hope to see you in my next video.